रूपं महत्ते बहुवक्त्र नेत्रं महाबाहो बहुबाहुरुपादं बहुदरं बहुदंष्ट्राकरालं दृष्ट्वा लोका प्रव्यथितास्तथाहम्.
Now with this verse, the destructive form begins, verses 23 to 34, and you see Arjuna, all this time he was extolling him, he was enjoying this, because the description was that of, first he sees the entire world in that one form, and then he sees Lord Brahma, the creator, then he sees Vishnu with his 4 arms and maintenance of the whole world, and he's quite happy with himself. Now he sees the destructive form, and he's not able to take it. And that's where the fear slowly begins. So 23, this verse talks about who is feared. Next verse speaks about who fears. So first of all, who is feared? Who are you afraid of? You're afraid of honest, straightforward, upright, principled, disciplined people. People who live by certain higher principles. They may not have money, they may not have a position, they may not have power, but just the fact that they are honest and upright makes people fearful of them. Who fears? Who is a person who is afraid? Number 1, a person who is not following his or her conscience. Number 2, who's ignorant. Ignorance gives fear. We are all afraid of death because death is an entity we don't know. Number 3, a sense of separateness gives you fear. That is why you're afraid. You know, an Indian in India knows exactly how to work the system. So you're not afraid. A cop catches you, you're not afraid. You get what is it called? Income tax notice, you're not afraid. But you go to the United States, you get an IRS notice, you'll start shivering. Why? Because it's something that you don't know, it's something that is different from you, it's a sense of separateness, you can't handle the situation. Fear. Wicked, cruel, destructive people are afraid. You look at the animal kingdom, all carnivores are afraid. They're always on edge, looking over their shoulders. A herbivore, you look at a cow, content, is not afraid. Various things give fear. So this is what it is. Now the most important thing here with this Vishwarupa Darshan is the contrast between the Virat Swarupa that Krishna is presenting and the Vyakti Swarupa. Virat Swarupa is the universal form. And Vyakti Swarupa is the individual entity, the base from which Arjuna is viewing the whole thing. He's the individual. The moment you look at yourself as an individual, you become weak. Because that is the truth. As an individual, what can you do? But you have the choice of identifying with the Virat Swarupa, with the totality. You say, I'm not just Mr. So-and-so or Ms. So-and-so. I represent an organization. I represent the nation. I represent Brahman, Atman. I represent an entity beyond myself, and immediately you feel a power. This capacity to rise above this Vyakti Swarupa and identify with the Virat Swarupa is something that all of us have. Do that. Think it right now if you think, I am not just this individual. What is pulsating in me is Atman. Immediately all your fears and contradictions and doubts and insecurities go away, at least temporarily. Try it out. And what must be the state of a person who doesn't even acknowledge the individual? He just identifies with the spirit. That's something that you need to look at. So in and through these verses, where there is a lot of he's just talking about many, many mouths, eyes, arms, thighs, feet. What does it mean? Don't take it literally. In and through these verses, you see something magnificent, it's fantastic. The message here is, don't identify with your little self, which is just 2 arms and 1 stomach and 1 mouth. Identify with the totality and experience a power that is yours. It's not somebody else's. It's there already in you. But you don't see it. You don't see that Virat Swarup. Next verse.